Hey, this is Derek, and I'm going to be talking about Chapter 8 from Ramachandran's The Telltale Brain. It's called The Artful Brain, Universal Laws. In the chapter, Ramachandran tries to break down a lot of the common themes involved in aesthetics or art that he thinks links all aesthetics for all humans based upon evolutionary adaptations in our brains. And a problem that I found with the chapter wasn't that I disagree with anything that he says. It was just that a lot of times it feels like Ramachandran is just speculating, or like he'll suggest an experiment that could easily be done, and he's writing about it in his book, but why didn't he do it? And I feel like he kind of takes this almost arrogant stance that I don't have to do this, and he speculates about half of what he says, and it kind of was like a turnoff, because it's like, if you're a scientist, then why are you speculating so much? And for instance, when he talks about isolation, how whenever we put the pieces together of something and as like a puzzle or the Dalmatian picture, we get an aha. And he says Capgras syndrome, patients don't get that emotional jolt when they figure something out, and they wouldn't be able to easily get pleasure from a Monet, or be able to as quickly figure out the Dalmatian dog picture, or be able to solve a puzzle as fast. And he says that could be easily tested. Well, why didn't he easily test it? I mean, he's writing a book about it. He needs to test it first. Orderliness, he talks about patterns and how phase shift also is appealing to people. And he says, is there any mathematical guideline to the type of phase shift? But he says that could be easily tested, but he didn't do it. In metaphor, he talks about the font of words, like fear written with squiggly letters, like shaking, and he says that he thinks that the reaction time for recognizing these words would be decreased. But again, he doesn't test it. And there's a few more examples that I didn't write down, but I just thought it was interesting that he's writing like a book on the topic, but he didn't, do all these thought experiments that could have easily been done. So that's all I have to say.